comment which one you all think is live. It's the first one, second one, the third one, and we're about to get right into it. So this episode, Brian will be talking about mental health, a men's mental health, a Black man's mental health, and he's going to get into some things that he's done to help his mental health and ways that he copes with his mental health as well. So Brian, what does mental health mean to you?
Well, first off, a lot is going to be repetitive because mental health is pretty much for me the same thing. But it's just about your well-being. It's about knowing if you're okay, even though you say you're okay. And it's about checking in with other people to know that you're okay. So it's a lot of ways I can go about it, but I know we have some questions that I'll further explain it. But it's just about
Yes.
how you really feeling and how you really feel. I say it all the time, not how you feel, like how you really doing.
Right.
So that's mostly it.
So mental health to me would be pretty much what mental state you are in at the time and the health of that state. So like if you're feeling down, depressed, things like that, I would define that as your mental health. A lot of people mistake mental health with the people that are around you or surrounding you. Is really you and how you're feeling within yourself. And if you're not feeling good within yourself, you can't really show up for everybody else. And I know I've said it a lot of times on my podcast, but I am going to reiterate that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So let's get into these questions, Brian. So how was it for you growing up?
Growing up, oh dang, I was about to say something to reveal a truth and a lie. But growing up, well, I can say it because it's y'all don't know. But growing up, I was an only child, and basically, for me, it was a lot of it was fine for me. I didn't really know what mental health was. I feel like mental health really just got about within the COVID pandemic and within the last 3 to 4 years that it's been talked about. We've known about it, but we pushed it to the side. And so, for example, the thing about it is that with me growing up as an only child, I had like siblings as far as like cousins goes in my head. So all my cousins were like my siblings. And for me, I was diagnosed with ADHD. So you had two things that you had to take for ADHD. One was Ritalin and one was Concerta. I had Concerta. Small backstory. For me, I know it's one of the questions, but we'll get into it later. My stepdad, who God rest his soul, passed away in 2005, was a big influence in my life. He's one of the father figures in my life. And so for me, growing up, when I used to take the Concerta after he died, because I took it after he died, it caught me in a state of depression, trying to remember that. Even though I was only
Mhm.
11, it put me in a state of depression. Like, why isn't such and such in my life? Why does such and such have to go? Um, so for me, growing up, I didn't know until later on in my life when I really got to think about what was really the mental health for me.
Right. Right. Okay. I get that. Okay. So another question would be, is your father in your life?
Piggybacking off of what I just said, no, he's not. So I actually met my dad. We moved from Miami to Georgia at 2012, 2013. I actually met my dad when we moved to Georgia. He's from Miami, but he reached out. He was in Georgia. He was in my life for a few months, and then from then until now, I haven't spoken to him in about. I've spoken to him since Kalia was alive. So Kalia's 2. I think she was probably about 4 to 5 months. So I've spoken to him within the last 2 years. But um, no, I mean he's not in my life actively. But I had to learn to not have any resentment about it. I've kind of gotten over it. And with my daughter, I try to. Well, I am better than what I was because I'm here. That's number one. But
Yeah.
but no, he was not in my life. I met him in 2013. And on and off, he just was inconsistent. He was telling me he would do something and he wouldn't do it. He's yelled at me. He's threatened me. He's threatened my mom. He's threatened people. And I don't play one thing, and you know me. I don't play by my mama, and I don't play by my grandma. I have all girls in my life. I don't play by my mama, my grandma, my wife, and my daughter. And even you're my best friend. I don't play about any female in my life. So if you come at them, you're coming at me. So at the end of the day, Yeah, I mean, for me, he's not in my life. I don't care if he's in my life. Um, I don't even know where he is right now. Last time he told me he was in jail, but I don't know where he's
So, do you think that that affected your
at.
mental health growing up?
Yeah, I can actually remember a time when I was younger, um, and I was in a parking lot in Miami at Cutler Ridge Mall. Cutler Ridge Mall, Cutler Bay Mall. I remember a time that I was in a parking lot in Miami, and basically, can you take him out, please? Basically, what happened was when I was in that parking lot, I asked my mama, and this is after my stepdad had passed away. I remember vaguely telling her and crying, like, "Where is my dad?" And she's like, "I don't know," because she just didn't know. And I was just crying, like, I want to know where my dad is. Like, I just lost the person who was my father figure. Where is my dad? Like, I don't know where he's at. Like, and why don't you know the answers?
Right.
Not knowing that she didn't know, she really didn't know. But why don't you know the answers? You're my mom. I come to you for everything, and not her fault at all. Nowhere near her. My mom is the most amazing mother in the world. But that's how I felt at that time.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you did tell us that you are a father. So how was it for you becoming a father? What are some non-negotiables that you as a father have set, and also boundaries you've set within yourself, within family, friends, for your daughter?
For us, it's not a lot of boundaries because we have a lot of respect amongst my family and her family. Only, I think our biggest rule is like just don't kiss her on the mouth. Like that's just our biggest rule. Because just people get sick and she gets sick a lot. Um, we just have the that was that scared the heck out of me. We just have a thing where just don't play with our daughter. Don't play with our daughter because we don't play. Like it ain't no game. But she has an amazing village with her godparents, with you, with my mom. And I think for me, I can't really get into negotiables, I guess, because I haven't got to the point where I need it. She's so little and so innocent. So I think, me and Kiera was having a conversation the other day, like, hey, when do we think we're going to give Kalia a phone? And I'm like, oh, well, I think she should have one. She's in like third grade because you never know what could happen. And, all these schools. And then we was talking about when we might, when she might have social media. She had a different opinion. Then I had a different opinion. So I think we're going as we grow because it's hard to be like, this is a non-negotiable. We know what's a no-no with our kids. Don't touch her, don't bother her. Like she knows how to say no. If she says no, she means no. Like just simple as that. But
Right.
once we get to the point of her being older, I think I can kind of dig deeper into the to the non-negotiable part.
Okay. So how was it for you when you found out that Kiara was pregnant? How was that for you? Like, what was your feelings? What was like, what state of mind were you in?
I jokingly said it to her. I was like, I think you're pregnant. And we didn't think about it. And ironically, even though we live in Orlando now, we went for a birthday trip down here in Orlando for her birthday in May of 2021, and she was sick, like really sick, like couldn't drink, couldn't do nothing. Got back, took a test, boom, and I think I called you. I
No, you
I
sent that you texted
I,
to me.
I texted to you. Oh no, I called my mama because
Yeah,
she
you
was sick.
texted to me and I thought you was lying.
Yeah, you
So
thought I was lying.
backstory, y'all, Brian played too many games. Let's
I do.
start there. Cause this is not his first time telling me that Kiara was pregnant. So I did not know that he was serious this time. So I had to get Kiara, get on his phone. So I know that it's for real. Cause she ain't gonna lie. She gonna tell the truth. She gonna give it straight forward. She ain't gonna play around with Brian lies. But when she got on that phone, that face gave, I said, yeah, Auntie's pregnant. Auntie's pregnant. So I love
Yeah.
that for you. I love that you have become a father, but let's get into your history because I've known you since Savannah State. We both went to Savannah State together. So,
Yep.
question that need answers. Do all men cheat?
No. I used to. Uh, just being. Listen, y'all. First of all, Cavandria knows me like well. Like we used to live together. Like like she knows me. Like she's known me since 2013. She has seen me through multiple relationships. Like this is not a game, okay? But I used to listen. I, I,
Keep it
I,
cute. Keep it cute.
I
Don't
was
piss
bad,
people
y'all.
off.
I was no, for real. I was bad, like for real. I was bad, y'all. Like, and it wasn't even like I was like just like messing with a whole bunch of women. I just was, yeah, I was bad. So I don't think that all men cheat. I don't think that cheaters will be cheaters for the rest of their life. Because like I said, it is. I mean, I used to. It's the fact. I'm just telling the truth. But nah, man. I think, I just was in the mindset of, for me, when I was going through college, I became a DJ, and I had all this attention towards me, like it was it was a lot. So and for me having all that towards me, I've always felt like I had to have a girlfriend. I don't know why, but I always felt like I had to have a girlfriend, even if I was messing up. But I mean, MLK cheated too. That's hilarious. But no, I don't think all men cheat. I do I do think that men that have cheated are not always going to be a cheater. Like once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't believe that because personally, I don't cheat no more. So you know,
Okay. So do you think cheating goes back to your roots, like pretty much how you were raised, how like you not, or have you seen certain people cheat and it was just like, okay, this is normal? Or what do you think was the stem of you cheating? Was it the attention? Was it like you being the only child and you wanted that attention from other women? What do you think was the stem of you cheating?
about a year ago, I really just figured out why I was cheating, and in my head, or why I think I was cheating, because I still kind of don't know. I think I was just, hey, you threw it, I caught it. I mean, it was just, it was just. I'm just being honest. And for me, I think, um, in high school, I was not that popular. In high school, I was, um, known, but not really known. I was skinny as hell. I was a skinny boy, ran track, sang, and I, I and ran track, sing, all that good stuff. But I remember in high school, I wasn't invited to no parties. I didn't go to. I had to go to a Cobb County, and I was in Douglas County to promote parties and do like nobody really messed with me. So towards the end of high school, when I started DJing, or promoting parties. And then in college, when I started DJing, I got this influx of attention towards me, that I wasn't used to. So I just took it. And
Okay.
mind you, I came into college with a girlfriend. And so my girlfriend at the time, she was a junior. I was a senior, so she had one more year of high school, and I was in college. She was in Atlanta. I was in Savannah. It it just happened. So
Right.
yeah, it just happened.
Okay. So can you share your personal journey with mental health and how it has impacted your life?
I'm still on the journey. I don't think I have any underlying issues right now. Like I don't think I'm not depressed. I'm actually happy. Um, I'm very spiritual when it comes to the Lord and when it comes to God. I believe that, for me, I don't worry as much as I used to. Like for example,
Mm,
I said this on the podcast the other day. So about 2 or 3 weeks ago, me and Kiera were running errands and we took her car. And long story short, Kalia got locked in the car. It wasn't hot. The car was still on. Not a big deal. She only got locked there for like 10 minutes. But you know, telling Kiera's business, but she was what's up, Janice? She was, she was emotional and she was crying. I was calm because I'm a firm believer in that whatever God situation God put me in, I'm gonna be able to get out of it. Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't be out of the situations, or you would be dead right now if you were still in the same situations that God put you in. So anything that you have been through in life, you've got through because you're here right now. It's just so simple. And so the way I look at it now is God is my factor of not being able to worry, not being able to figure out anything. There's been times where I've been broke to the brim and I don't know where rent is coming from. And then I'll look up and for some reason I get a gig back to back to back to back to back, or I'll get a deposit for a wedding, or I'll get, and I'm not just talking about money, but I'm just speaking of, that's usually the most common thing that people attribute it to. But for me, it's pretty much about, it's pretty much about um, how I'm being able to not worry about things. And how I not worry about things is knowing that God is going to handle it all. So for my mental health journey, I'm pretty much calm and serene right now. I'm more so trying to help my brothers, mainly my brothers and my sisters, figure out, what's really bothering them.
Yeah, get that. I get that. So, what are some common misconceptions about mental health that you've encountered?
Um, you mean with men or with people?
Just with you within yourself, like some common misconceptions that people may have about your mental health.
Um, I mean, when I'm DJing, I'm happy, but you may see that I'm happy, but I may not be. I may have had an issue right before I got on. I may have had some mental things thinking about my dad, my stepdad. Um, I think lately, um, within the past 2 years, and I'm still, my brother who's right here, DJ Celsius, who passed away almost 2 years ago. You know, over the for the he passed away in October, right at the end of homecoming in 2022. And I think from then on to about maybe the summer or end of summer of last year, it was like when I was DJing, it was always a tribute to him, but I was sad. It would be times where I would drive home, and grief is different for different people.
Mm-hmm.
For
That's true.
me, I would be driving home because I have about a 40-minute drive, 45-minute drive from downtown. And I would be just bawling, boo, crying. Think about that because even right after that, right next to him, one of the promoters in the city of Orlando, Antoine, he got killed in Orlando a little bit after that, beginning of last year. So I had like two people that I was cool with. Sale I knew longer, Antoine I knew for a short amount of time, but he actually helped me, one of the people that got me started in Orlando. So for me, losing them back to back was kind of like, whoa, because I don't lose a lot of people in my family often. Like, I don't, thankfully, you know what I mean? And so I think that was my biggest thing was mental health. It was really more so grief more than mental health. Like, why did this happen? Because my regret with Sale was I went the whole homecoming week there, and this is my first time being back in Savannah from Orlando, coming back to do homecoming in 2022. So I went the whole week thinking to myself, okay, got to see this person, got to see this person, got to see that person, got to see that person. Got to the end of the week, I didn't see him or a few people. And the morning we are about to leave, we got the news that, and I can talk about it now, but we got the news that he committed suicide. And it was just like, what? Like, why would he even
Yeah.
do that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so for me, I think that's the biggest battle that I've been going with over the last year and a half, 2 years, which is just grief, because I've never had back to back grief, and even to this day, I don't have people. I don't go to a lot of funerals. I don't have people that passed away, thankfully. You know, but I think one of my biggest, this is actually the first time I'm in that. The only person that pretty knows about this is Kiera. So my grandmother got sick um, a few, like 2 years ago, around the same time that Cell passed away. And she had a stroke. And you know my grandma. Like, my grandma is like, you would never think my grandma is a grandma. Like, she is uppity. She is doing everything on her own. And she had to learn all that back because she had the stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And I even still see the differences in my grandmother now. Um, and I just went to St. Petersburg to see my auntie, my grand auntie, my great auntie. And she's back and getting in better health. But I was sitting there with her and my grandmother, my mom, and my other auntie, and I'm just thinking to myself like, I'm about to be 30. I'm getting to the age where family is gonna start dropping off.
Yeah.
It's like we about to go into that age within the next 10 to 15 years where it's gonna be time for people to our older ones, our grandmothers, granddads, if you haven't already lost them. I hate to say it, but it's time for that to start happening, and I ain't ready.
Yeah.
I and you never ready, but I know I ain't ready.
Yeah.
So I think that's um I take like I said, I take grief differently because even to this to about to I was like to this day, but like 3 years ago is when I actually stopped. So that would have been what 20 about pandemic time, about 2020, 2019. That was the first time that on Father's Day I did not cry. Um, every
Mm,
Father's Day I
that's
would
big.
cry. Every Father's Day from 2006 to 2019 I would cry because I would listen to "Dance with My Father Again" by Luther Vandross, and I would bawl my eyes out, thinking about my stepdad and just thinking about why my dad wasn't in my life. So I think
Ooh,
those are
yeah.
the biggest mental health things for me. Is more so like grief, and try to overcome it and figure that out.
Gotcha. So, what strategies or coping mechanisms have you found helpful in managing your mental health
Hookah,
and also your grief as well?
hookah. Listen, I don't smoke
Wood
weed.
and hookah.
I don't smoke weed. Okay, I
Can't
don't.
say that.
I'm sorry. I don't blow that. So I, I, I. That's my outlet. Nah, but nah. My for me, it's just family. Spending time with family, DJing, and just being able to, like I said, to just being able to just chill and be with myself. I'm very content with myself. Just went to Disney by myself today. I'm very content with myself. I love going places by myself. I love going on trips by myself. I love going out to eat, festivals, concerts, movies, everything. So I think alone time um, is one of the factors that help me be sane. But then, like my wife is saying, theme parks. I love theme parks, Universal, Disney, SeaWorld, which is the reason why we moved to Orlando. One of the reasons why we moved to Orlando. So those are my outlets. I love nostalgic things. Like for example, me and Kira went to this arcade monsters place on International Drive, and it was like nothing but like pinball machines, old school games, fighting games, and anything that can bring me back to nostalgic times where I didn't have a worry. Like Rugrats or
Yeah.
Family Guy or stuff like that. Playing games. I recently, and I'm about to. I need to go. I want to buy a Wii because we used to play the Wii
Yeah.
sports. We used to do the bowling. We used to do the tennis. I want
No, the Michael Jackson was elite. If you
that was
never
that
played a
was
Michael Jackson game, it's elite. You can, if you really played it, you know how to do the dance
But that's
without, you could
hard.
just
That
hear
was
the
hard for
music.
me. Yeah, that was hard for me. I couldn't do the MJ thing like that. But for me, yeah, like I just want to get back to nostalgic things. Like let's do stuff that we used to do. Like
Yeah.
let's go be kids again because as much as we're still young, we're not young. Like I got bills. It's
Yeah.
stressful. It's
Yeah.
so stressful. Like the first of
Yes.
the month, like you be like, ooh, thank you Lord for another month. I gotta pay the power bill. I gotta pay the light bill. I gotta pay the, you know what I mean? So, nah, y'all don't want to see me on nothing bowling, none of that. But yeah, just, just get. Like I said. So for me, Disney. If you ask me how I go to Disney, Disney, even seeing stuff over and over again, that's nostalgia for me. And if
Hmm.
I can get back to when I had no worries, I'm smiling, I'm
Yes.
chilling. So that's kind of how I cope.
Okay. So I would say, how has your experience with mental health influenced your relationship both personally and professionally?
Um, So with my wife, I'm more of the, like I said, I'm more of the like the less worrying about it. I'm more of the it's gonna be okay. We can worry about it when we get to it. She's more of like the I guess like no, we need to do it right now. Like we stuff like that. So I guess I kind of hold that part of it down. Um, and then being able to like I said, come from what I used to be to being able to do it now. That was just a journey within myself, especially being with my wife for the past 6 years of being married for one. And so professionally, um, DJing is my outlet. Um,
Okay.
I I love being able to create an experience for somebody that I know they will remember for the rest of their life. Whether it's a wedding, whether it's a whether it's a wedding, whether it's a club event, a birthday party, a baby shower, like whatever the case may be. I love that satisfaction of that. And even in my career with sales with AT&T, I just love being able to help people save money on on different things that they may get with us. So people is my outlet because I was an only child. Everybody, I tell my customers this all the time. Like everybody's like my brother or my sister. So for me, it's pretty much just I'm gonna treat you like that. Like I'm gonna treat you like I've known you my whole life until you cross me. And so I guess that's kind of how I kind of do that with my personal and professional.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, shout out to
Um,
Kiki. Shout out to my mama-in-law.
okay, y'all. So we are halfway through the episode and we have to go ahead and take a little small break. So you all get ready because we're about to do our shot o'clock for the midway point of the episode. So go ahead and pour it up. As I stated before, I think you missed this part, Brian. I am on a 30-day fast,
I
no
heard something
liquor.
about cranberry juice.
I am. I'm on a 30-day fast. So no liquor, no soda. So I am taking cranberry juice, but y'all know any other time, y'all know the vibes. So we're gonna do a shot o'clock to halfway through the episode, y'all. Brian is dropping some gems. He's giving you some insights, and we're finna get back into it. So are you ready? Shot o'clock. Demon.
I went to Sip Some University. I'm
Ooh,
good.
you bold, not me.
I don't drink. What's funny is I really don't drink like that no more. Like, um, which I think goes back to mental health to me because I didn't like being drunk. Because my dad. I'm looking at the bottle though. But for me, yeah, I don't like in the club. People be asking me like, "Oh, take a shot, take it." I don't even drink like that no more. Mm-mm.
So you need to pay attention to me and not the comments because the comments is distracting you. So let's get back into it. So
Whatever.
what inspired you? Um, okay, so we can start with this one. What do you do for a living?
So I'm a DJ. That's my full time job. No, she's not taking shots. I'm a full time job, and I'm also in my daytime. I work for AT&T. I'm in what we call an in home expert. So I'm basically in sales. Um, super dope position. Loving it so far. I've been on it for about 2 months. But the benefits, perks, managerial perks, all that as well. I think I'm in a position where you know me, I switch jobs like it's crazy.
Yes,
Uh,
and
but
he's he don't
but
work
this,
jobs. He is a job, baby.
listen, I stay on for 6 months, and if I don't like it, I'm gone. But this one is super amazing. They treat me well, company car, just different perks that I love about it. And I think I'm at a first time in a long time at my job where I know for a fact I'm going to be here for a long time. And people ask me all the time, why don't I just DJ? And I can. It's just like, why would I? Why would I not take more money? And why?
Right.
I have a family, need benefits. So.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. So what inspired you to start your journey or career?
Well, for my DJing career,
Please,
uh, I
please, please, Brian, keep it cute on this internet. Keep it cute on this internet, okay? Do not.
I was gonna say it in a way that it wasn't
Okay.
gonna bring up the old stuff. So for my DJing career, there was a DJ that I knew, and I saw him outside of parties. And long story short, he helped me DJ back in Boston College, Savannah State, helped me learn. So I always got to give credit to that gentleman for that part of it. I'm not gonna say no names, but he knows who he is. I will give him that credit every time. However, um,
Comma.
however, I took my own path and elevated in my own way through Savannah State. through Atlanta. No, we're not gonna say his name. Through Atlanta, and all that stuff. So for me, it was pretty dope. Because for me, I think the reason why I started DJing for real is because I don't like waiting in lines. So what I'm not gonna do is wait in a line. Wait in a. I'm sorry that y'all do it. I'm so sorry. And even at my parties, wait in a line for an hour. Then get to the door. Gotta pay $20. If I want to skip, I gotta pay 40. Then I gotta buy drinks. I gotta buy hookah. I gotta buy whatever I gotta buy in the club. That is $100 night. Going to the club should be
That's
a
a
date.
$200 night in Atlanta.
Listen, going to the club. Listen, I gotta go to Atlanta in June. I'm going to birthday bash, and my other best friend Cash was like,
Lotto
"Oh,
bash.
we Lotto bash is definitely going." But she's like, "Oh, we should go out." I'm not going nowhere at the birthday bash. It's gonna be $1,000 night. I'm good. So for me, I think not if you Javis is annoying. Not so for me, I think that's one of the reasons why I started. And I got the privilege of being able to do it in college, being able to have the torch passed to me by my big brother CJ the DJ, and he's still there, and still being able to do it to this day. This year in October marks 10 years that I've been hosting Homecoming. I've been hosting it since 2014, and yeah, you know,
Okay.
it's
So
pretty
how do
cool.
you balance work, family, and DJing?
So recently, I just figured out how to. So I used to DJ. I used to DJ Sunday nights. Um, I still do it sometimes. But once our Sunday night event stopped, I also used to do brunch. So, for example, brunch used to be at 12 to 5. I stay
Hmm.
about 45 minutes from the city with traffic an hour. So I would have to leave my house at 11 a.m., go to brunch, be there by 12, be at brunch till 12 to 5:30, leave there. I wouldn't get home till 7:30, stay at home for 2 or 3 hours, turn back around, go back to Orlando to DJ. And it was draining. It was draining. So I said, once my Sunday nights stopped, I said, I'm not doing brunch no more. I don't care if my name is on it or not. Not
Okay.
doing brunch. I'm not doing brunch anymore. And now what I do is I have a Thursday set night. I have a Friday set night. So that I do, and then I rotate Saturdays. Like this Saturday, um, wifey is going out of town. So I'm not gonna. Hold on. I'm sorry.
I put
I'm
them on.
not. I was like, why? Why you cut the cameras on?
Because they're
Why?
distracting you. You can't concentrate.
I was fine. I'm just trying to figure out why the number dropped all the way to 3.
Oh,
But but yeah, no, but anyway, like I was saying, so yeah, so I figured out how to balance it in that way because what I did was I did less events, but more in quantity. So for example, if that makes sense, I said that so wrong. I do less events, but more quality events. So I'll do a Thursday, I'll do a Friday, I'll do a Saturday. I usually don't do a Sunday. If I do a Thursday and a Friday, I usually don't do a Saturday. And I do a Sunday. So I try to like alternate it, unless it's like in the last week of the month. What I did was I did like literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So that was super exhausting. But I try to balance it out. The biggest way I balance it is communication. So
yes.
so with Kiki, um, it's simple. Even though she sometimes don't remember my DJ schedule, however, I try to keep them in mind. So if I know they want to do something, or if it's for example, I know I want to go to Disney with them, or I know I want to take them on a date, or I know I want to do this or do that, I will purposely tell somebody, no, I will not do it. I got an offer to do brunch last week, not doing it because I want to spend time with them. So I think that's kind of how I balance it. I ain't gonna be
Okay.
distracted. You can keep the comments on. It's just Javis.
And then Jeff is gonna always go. Okay, so can you discuss a challenging experience that helped you grow?
In college, it was a point where I was probably the most hated DJ on that campus.
Okay, I remember what you're talking
Um, and it was because I was pretty much one of the only ones doing it. And they would become a time where they were like, oh, he played the same thing. He do this too much. He do that. He do this. He do that. And it would get to me like, am I really like doing all the things that they say that I'm doing? And the thing about it was like half the stuff that y'all asked me to play, like half the stuff y'all asked me or saying that I play over and over, y'all asked me to play. Like we were
Yeah.
just having this conversation about even current music. If we play something you unfamiliar with, now you sitting there playing saying where's Sexy Red or Boss Man D-Lo. So at the end of the day, I will say I was a little heavy on the swag surf. It is what it is. But everything else, it would just that would bother me a lot. So when I go home at night, it would be like, dang, should I even really do this event? I used to turn down some events. I was like, nah, they didn't see me last week and they don't want to see me again.
Mm.
I used to have parties like almost every weekend. I stopped that. I started doing once a month. So I think that's probably one of the only. It's not one of the only, but the best thing I can think of where I was in a bad place and kind of went over it. I just had to re-strategize and figure out what I really wanted to do to please myself. But I'm in the people pleasing business to do that as well. So.
Okay. So, what advice would you give your younger self?
Um, you don't need a father to be a father. Like
Ooh,
that probably would be my
that's
my
good.
my youngest thing. So for me, because my father was not actively in my life consistently, my biological father, I know how to do it because I know what I didn't get.
Yeah.
So I know how to be a nurturer. And so for me, I had my Uncle Wayne, who is still to this day is like my father. And I had, my stepdad and I had other great men in my life who were father figures. So I didn't need I didn't need him when I figured out that I didn't need him.
Ooh,
So
that's
so that
that's that's some good advice right there. I
yeah.
think a lot of men, black men specifically, should take that advice because a lot of them blame, oh, I didn't have my dad in my life. This is and third. My mom did it on their own, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like people don't understand the strain that it puts on women that they always have to be the strong one. So when you have a partner, I would say for you and for your mom, y'all have partners that, helped you out and you don't have to bear the barrier by yourself. I think that's way more helpful. And it puts you in a different place to have somebody that's helping you instead of doing everything on your own. And a lot of men don't be in their children's life, but they like, oh, the mama got it, the mom has it, this is that and the third, but they don't understand the toll that it takes on a woman to wake up every day on days you don't even feel like getting up, getting out the bed, doing something. You still got to cook breakfast. You still got to take care of this baby. You still got to do this. You got to do that. You got to make sure your baby gets to school. Oh, your baby's sick. You got to go there. And some men don't even know their children's primary care doctor. So I think that that is really big that you don't have to have a father to be a father. And I think for me, not having my dad as well, it's me saying that I don't want that for my children. I want my children to have their father in their life. And on another aspect, as even if me and their father isn't together, I want a man that is an active father, not a I'm here some days, tomorrow I'm not. We broke up, we make up, all the extras. So yeah.
I think I was about to say what Kiera just said. I don't know her primary doctor, but that's just because but that's because Kiera goes, I'll be at work. I understand that. But I take care of the insurance.
You live with your daughter.
So it's different. But to piggyback what you said, and so at the end of the day, I think that that's something for just women too. Like a lot of times, they say, "Oh, I didn't have my dad, so I don't know how to be loved." I don't, but
Mm,
and I'm not saying I can't talk about nobody else's journey. But at the end of the day, you were loved by hopefully, if you didn't have both, I understand. But you were loved by somebody, so you know what love is because you know what you want. So
yes.
if you know what you want, go for what you want. Now that
Right.
may be a factor. I can't lie. It may be a factor down the road, but I feel like a lot of times that could be an excuse.
Yes. I think
It's
it
like
is.
it's a crutch. Like, oh, I didn't have my dad, so I don't know how to love. Or even dudes, I didn't see my mom love my dad love my mom. I don't know how to. You know it was wrong, so you know what to
Yeah.
do right. But
Yeah.
but again, not knocking nobody else's journey. I'm just just stating how I feel about it.
Okay. Can you share a memorable failure and what you learned from it?
A memorable failure.
Yes.
I feel like everything I say is going to have to do with DJing.
I
But
mean, you
that's
can.
just, it's the truth. I mean, it's just that's why I've had a lot of fails and ups and downs over the past 11 years. I think it was kind of what I said earlier. I mean, I can't really think of a one right now, but one of the ones was like just rebranding myself, not doing so much, not again same thing I'm doing now. Quality over quantity. I don't need to be seen so much to still be relevant.
Oh,
So
okay.
so that's kind of how I look at stuff now. Even people like to this day in Orlando, they're like, "Oh, Miami, I'll never see you out." I don't come out unless I'm booked.
Yeah.
I have a family at home. I'm trying to be with my wife and my daughter. I ain't got time to be out here with y'all all day. And unless it's a special event, somebody's birthday, I'm good. I could be at the house.
Yeah.
I'm good. So
Okay. Okay. What role does vulnerability play in your life?
I think you have to, especially with a toddler, you have to be vulnerable with a partner. You have to be vulnerable with a toddler. I had to learn, especially with Kiera, and just talk about her journey, but Kiera and like even postpartum depression, things of that nature. I had to learn that stuff. Like I had to learn, okay, she's talking to me. I need to listen and actually do it. Because there'll be
Yeah.
little stuff that I used to do or still do to this day. Like it'll be something as simple as like take the trash out and I don't get up at the exact moment that she wants me to. But now she's like, well, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. And so then I'd be like, oh, well, now I might as well do it. And it was like, I got to do. So I think I say that to say, being able to listen, being able to understand, and being able to be open to know how to be that part of your partner, or to be a part of even my daughter. I think with having a toddler, you got to be vulnerable because with her, her feelings get hurt when you say no. So you ain't
Yeah.
got you tell her no. I'll look at her a certain way and I'll say no, stop. She'll start crying. So
Yeah.
I'm still tapping into it. Still tapping into it. I think it's just all a part of the process.
Okay. So, how do you define success and has that definition evolved over time?
Um, I think a lot of people define success with money, and I don't think that that's true success. I think my success um, is my happiness. Like I know for a fact I got family that I can fall back on. So not saying that I should, but I do. And so I have a village. So for me, success is happiness. Like is where I'm at now. I'm happy. I'm content. I have no worries. Of course, I have stresses in life. It comes up, but just being able to get over that and knowing that I'm going to get over that hump every single time through the grace of God. I think for me, that's my success. My success is waking up and seeing my daughter, putting her to bed, giving her a bath every night. My success comes from my family more so than a financial aspect. Yes, it's good to accomplish that when I do events or I do certain milestones or whatever. I can deem that as a success. But a lot of times, if let's say I had a lot of people in the party, but I didn't make no money, those people had an amazing time. That's my success. So my success,
Oh,
I believe, is making people happy, and making sure that I'm doing it in a genuine way. Because
gotcha.
although I don't really truly believe in like the word, I guess, karma, I do believe that like God is going to bless who blesses people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, can you discuss a significant mentor or role model in your life?
I've had a few. Um, when I was going through the ADHD thing and I was going through the mental health part of that in high school, there was a teacher. She was a math teacher. I'll never forget her. Her name was Miss McFarland. And I remember she had, I don't know if you remember, it's some, I don't know, it's some, a lot of high schools have it. You have the main building and then like you have a few trailers and you got to
Yeah,
walk to
yeah,
the
yeah.
trailer to get to the building.
Mm-hmm.
So she was subbing one day in one of the trailers or she was doing detention or something. I knew she was over there.
Uh-huh.
She was my outlet. So I used to go to her, and one day I think it was I think it was something that happened with my dad, and just him not showing up or something. I vaguely remember, but I just remember going into her where she was into the. Now I know she was doing detention that day. It was almost at the end of school. Everybody had left. I just went in there and boohoo cried, and she just gave me some of the best advice of my life, which was what I know now is just to stop worrying. Like I know it sounds so vague. Just stop worrying, but God gonna get it. God
Yeah.
gonna handle it. You ain't gotta worry about it. You gonna see later on what I'm talking about, and I did. So she was a great influence in my life. Another great influence in my life, obviously, CJ the DJ, giving me a lot of advice as far as my DJing world goes. I've had a lot of great DJ friends and DJ acquaintances that have pushed me along the way. My mom is my best friend. I talk to my mom every single day. So she plays a part in that. And I'm just grateful to have great people around me. And I haven't had to weed out a lot of bad apples. Like I was telling some of the DJs in Orlando that I haven't had a bad experience with. I've only had a bad experience with one promoter in Orlando. And they was like, "Oh, wait, you gonna see?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not," because the energy that I exude and the energy that I bring to the table, I don't have that negativity around me. I don't get in fights. I don't argue with people. I don't do none of that stuff. Like my energy is for me is greatness, and it's genuine. So I don't have that around me. So I feel like um, you know, yeah, I got a lot of people in my life. I got a lot of influence in my life that my Uncle Wayne, like I said, that I um, attribute to who I am today.
Okay. So what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
My Sorry, my mama is talking about I call her all day. Yes, I called you 3 times today and did. So anyway, but um um I ain't accepted that I'm from the die yet. So I don't really like talk about my legacy. Like I ain't accepted that, oh, I gotta die one day. I haven't accepted that yet. Um my legacy is Kalia. My legacy is Kiera. My legacy is my family. Like that is my legacy. Raising her right, alongside my wife, raising her right is my legacy. Like making sure she is straight and making sure whatever kids come after that, they are straight. That will be my legacy. My kids will be my legacy. My kid right now, she is my legacy. Like there's no, I don't have anything else that I can really,
You
say.
hope to leave behind.
Yeah, I don't. Even if I open a club or even if I start this, start that, I money can't do nothing for me. I will live through my kids and how I raise them. I
Hmm.
want people, like people say to me all the time, tell your mama, tell your grandmama, tell whoever raised you that they did an amazing job. That's what I want the same to be for my daughter, and
Okay.
for whatever kids to come. So my children, or my child right now, I need to stop saying children before we have some more. But my child is my legacy.
Okay. So what advice would you give to other men who may be struggling with their mental health but are hesitant to seek help?
Um, Therapy is not always the option. Like you don't have to go to therapy. Just talk to somebody you trust. Just talk to somebody you trust. I mean, it's times where you'll call me and I'll call you, or I got other friends that I call. I know who to call for certain things. Know who to call for certain things.
Mm,
Everybody is not gonna know how to handle each situation. There is some people that you can talk to about money that they handle money well, and then but you want to go talk to the broke friend. There's some people that you can talk about relationship issues, but you over here talk to this person who can't keep a boyfriend or girlfriend for whatever. You need to talk to the person that you know has that experience or knows somebody who has had that experience. A lot of times people come to me, I guess my aura gives that off, and I know what to say because I've either been through it or I know somebody who's been through it. So at the end of the day, and I also believe, I'm not a prophet or anything, but I do believe that the Lord does give me things to say to people. And so at the end of the day, like everybody can't know everything. Everybody can. It's some stuff that I don't tell you as my best friend. It's some stuff that I don't tell Keish. It's some stuff that I don't tell Cash. Some stuff that I don't tell Keenan. I know Keenan is one of my 4 best friends. KK, Keenan, Keish, and Cash. Keenan, he's a pastor. God, spirituality, any of that nature, men, just straight up men talk. He's married just like me, got a baby just like me. I know I can talk to him about most things in my life. Cash, he a boss. That's my brother. I get the most money with him. I can talk to him about that stuff. And Cash, I do talk to about everyday life, but I like to get his perspective from somebody who may not be, in the same shoes as me. Keish, we just talk about whatever. I come to you when it's usually I used to come to you, especially when it was a female or something. I had to figure out a situation and how
I
to
just
get
want
out
to
of it.
put on the record that I don't get into Brian business, but I do let him know when you wrong, and I'm gonna let you know that you wrong, and keep me out of it because I don't want to be in
Especially,
that mess.
especially when we lived together, she was like,
Oh,
it was a
I
lot.
walks him down. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So
Okay.
it was it was a lot. But yeah, I think that's probably that's so good. Don't know who to talk to because y'all be trying to talk to people who can't receive what you trying to tell them.
Mm.
Stop trying to talk to somebody that don't know what you talking about. And then they give you bullshit and you mad when you take their advice and now you in a damn situation. You know what? But yeah,
Okay, so we are
that's
wrapping up this episode. We have about 4 minutes left before we're going to wrap up the episode. So, Brian, go ahead and tell them your two truths and a lie again, and then we're going to let them comment down, and you're going to go ahead and reveal which one was the lie. If you know the lie, if you personally know Brian, do not comment it. Let it be fun for everybody else. So, Brian, go ahead and say
I
it.
can tell you right now, let them comment because I promise you they're gonna be wrong. But anyway, so my two truths and a lie. Bow Wow is my favorite rapper of all time. I've met Boys to Men in person, like met them, talked to them face to face, and I have a brother and a sister.
All right, so I'm gonna give y'all like 10 seconds. We're gonna give y'all a little 10 seconds so y'all can go ahead and tell which one y'all think is the lie. Which one do y'all think is the lie? Oh my God. Okay. So Brian, go ahead. Tell them which one is the lie.
Oh, you don't want me to tell you the truth first?
Tell them which one is the lie.
The lie is that I've met Boys to Men face to face in person. I have seen them in concert. I've been close to them, but I've actually had a conversation in the DMs with Sean from Boys to Men, but I've never met them in person.
So yeah,
Bow,
I was wrong. The people who Brian is the only child on his mom's side. He has siblings.
yes. So I'm the only child on my mom's side. Apparently, my I have an older sister and a younger brother. I don't know. And yes, if y'all don't know, I'll bring it over here. Bow Wow is my favorite rapper of all time. That's him. That's the VIP that I met him with his signature. So yes, Bow Wow is my favorite. Is my favorite rapper.
All right, you guys, we are wrapping up episode 10. This has been a great episode. Brian has dropped some gems on you all. We will do a couple of recaps, and this episode will be on YouTube on probably Monday. We're going to upload it up to YouTube. We want to thank you, Brian, for joining us for the Truth Be Told podcast, Healing the Narrative of Black Man's Mental Health. We thank you all for joining, all the gifts, all the love that you all have shown us, all the likes and double taps. We hope to see you all again on April 24th for a very, very, very special guest on my podcast. And it's going to be a blast. So we hope to see you all in 2 weeks, every other Wednesday to be here, 9 p.m. at the Truth Be Told podcast live on TikTok and as well as on YouTube. So we hope to see you guys soon. Thank you all for joining. Bye, Brian. See you later.